Hello and welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Aaron Porras, and coming up in today's newscast, rockets launched from Gaza strike a home in Sderot. Prime Minister-elect Benny Gantz holds landmark meetings with members of the Joint Arab List. And we hope you've got your appetite handy because today Israelis celebrate International Sandwich Day. All hands are on deck and on high alert Sunday morning as the IDF prepares for an escalation in violence from the Gaza Strip following yet another weekend of rockets. Beginning Friday evening, just as Israelis were sitting down for Shabbat dinner, at least 10 missiles were launched from the Hamas-run enclave, setting off alarms and the Iron Dome system. Now, one rocket during the strikes even struck a home in the southern city of Sderot, as seen in this CCTV footage. Though luckily no one was hurt because the parents and the children who lived in the house ran to protected areas just before the projectile hit. Well, in response, as per usual, Israel conducted airstrikes against Hamas targets in Gaza, reportedly killing one and wounding two more. Israel holds Hamas responsible for any attack that comes from the Strip, in spite of the fact that the Palestinian Islamic Jihad terror group is believed to be behind these latest strikes and not Hamas. This policy, however, is in part why many Israeli leaders are at odds on what to do next. MK Naftali Bennett, for one, agrees that we should be prepared for more, but that for now there's no point in a stronger response as it will only lead to unnecessary spinning. Former IDF Chief of Staff and Blue and White Party leader Benny Gantz, on the other hand, says that we must strike harder to restore deterrence, including the reintroduction of targeted assassinations.
בממשלה שאקים נחזיר את ההרתעה בכל אמצעי שעומד לרשותנו. ראשי החמאס יישאו באחריות אישית, מפקדות החמאס יושמדו, תקופת ההפלגה תתקיים אם לא יהיה שקט מוחלט בדרום. נחזיר את ההרתעה ונדע להילחם, אבל גם נדע לנצל אותה ולהחזיר את התקווה בדיוק כפי שהיה נוהג יצחק לו היה איתנו כאן היום.
Either way, many defense experts are starting to suspect Iranian proxy and Palestinian Islamic Jihad leader in Gaza, Baha Abu al-Atta, of orchestrating the latest string of attacks, meaning that something will likely have to be done soon one way or another, and attacking Hamas alone may not be enough. In other news, it was a very busy weekend in the world of Israeli politics as well, as Benny Gantz continues to race against the clock in negotiations for a possible government. For the first time in over 10 years, someone other than Benjamin Netanyahu has a chance of becoming Prime Minister of Israel, and the Blue and White or Kahol Lavan party head Benny Gantz isn't going to give it up without a fight. That's why following meetings with other party leaders last week, the Prime Minister-elect is now sitting down with members of the Joint Arab Knesset list. And they're clearing a path towards the Arab-majority parties either backing or even joining in the next coalition government for the first time in decades. But in the landmark closed-door meeting, Gantz and the Joint List leaders discussed mostly civilian issues plaguing the Arab-Israeli communities, like violence in the Arab sector. Gantz apparently made clear, though, that what was discussed was not dependent on the Joint List's support. Meanwhile, however, this meeting comes just a few days after Prime Minister Netanyahu also met with his cabinet and other Arab community leaders to discuss the violence in the Arab sector. But critics highly suspect this meeting to be politically motivated and indicative of intentions to return to a third election cycle. The same suspicion reported after Channel 12 revealed talks between Netanyahu and the New Right's Naftali Bennett. Netanyahu is reportedly considering reappointing Bennett to the cabinet, and Bennett, for his part, though, has since come out against such rumors, saying that if I'm an obstacle to forming a government, I release Netanyahu from any commitment to me and to the New Right, and I'm ready to sit in the opposition. The main thing, he added, is to get a government established. Now, joining us in the studio to break down the weekend events, please welcome Likud Party Knesset member Sharren Haskel. Thank you so much for coming back. Welcome back.
Good evening. Yeah.
All right, so let's start right now with the rockets and the security situation down south. Right now, Benny Gantz, as we heard earlier, is saying we should return to targeted assassinations. Is he speaking, like a strong man to project strength ahead of, negotiations for the coalition, or does he really mean it? And do you think that's the right way to go?
Look, it's a serious question, and unfortunately, we will not know until he is in a position to make those decisions. And that's part of a problem with, electing a prime minister that has never served in the parliament before. Obviously, he served in the military, and we are very grateful for his service in the military. But we don't know how he is going to act as a leader. We don't know what kind of decision he is going to make. We don't know whether he's talking or whether he's the type of person who's in action.
Well, do you think that would be a mistake to go back to that sort of deterrence?
Look, to be honest, we're dealing with a very difficult situation. I sit in the Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee. We have a special opportunity right now to hit Hamas hard, and we need to hit them where it hurts. We need to hurt them on a personal level, in their personal assets, and we also need to hit them with their strategic assets, Hamas strategic assets. It's a special time right now because some of the force that's backing Hamas are Iran, obviously.
Sure.
Iran is pretty busy at the moment with huge events that are happening at the moment. One of them is in Iraq. Probably you've seen a lot of demonstrations, Shiite forces that are shooting, demonstrated without any weapons. Many people are being killed there. And that's targeted towards Iran influence and Iran's corruptions in Iraq. The second front that they're dealing with is with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Huge demonstration going out about the corruptions of Nasrallah and of Hezbollah there, which is keeping Iran very busy, but at the same time, be careful. That message from Hamas is a straight message from Iran, trying to release some pressures from those sides and put the focus back in Israel.
But I want to bring the focus to a different Iranian proxy right now that was kind of capturing attention over the weekend, and that's the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. One of the leaders of this group, Baha Abu al-Atta, who is largely suspected of orchestrating these latest attacks and many others like it. Again, setting aside the fact that Israel holds Hamas responsible for anything that goes on in the Strip because Hamas is the governing power there, why not also target Palestinian Islamic Jihad and the perpetrators?
Absolutely. I think this is a very sensitive and a very good strategic time for Israel. Because Iran is so busy on all of these fronts, when their proxies are sort of like starting to be destabilized, this is a great time for Israel to military operate to neutralize their powers and their proxies, particularly on our borders and also in the Gaza Strip. I'm talking about the jihad, I'm talking about Hamas as well. And so that's why tomorrow, obviously, we have a party meetings as well. This is one of the things that I'm going to raise with the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, too. And also in a special discussion that we have in the Defense Committee, these are some of the issues that will definitely, I'll raise them there as well.
Okay, so I want to bring the conversation now towards the coalition negotiations. Right now, Benny Gantz, leader of the Blue and White, he just sat down for landmark meetings, really, with the Arab Joint List. There are a lot of rumors that he is inviting them either to become supporters of Blue and White as, for leadership or maybe even join the coalition. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm worried. And I think that most Israeli citizens are really worried. I mean, it's one thing when we do have, minorities representations in the Knesset, in the Likud party as well, and in many other parties. We had a Druze minister in the last government as well. It's not a matter of a racial or religious issues, but it's an issue that the Arab parties are parties who they actually support terrorists. They actually support the annihilation of the State of Israel as we see it today. And to join a coalition, an Israeli coalition that is based on their vote, makes me very anxious and very worried about what can happen tomorrow here in Israel. And it's not just me, it's most Israeli citizens.
All right, well, we'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, we have another 2 weeks left before Gantz loses his mandate to form the coalition. Sharon Eskel, thank you so much again for coming in.
Thanks a lot.
All right, it may have only been 12 days since Prime Minister Netanyahu failed to secure the top seat in Parliament, but a new television series documenting his life and political career is already in the works, and ILTV's Nittany Manson reports.
Love him or hate him, the man will certainly go down in history for his many accomplishments from before, during, and eventually after office. We're talking, of course, about Prime Minister Netanyahu. And now his life story is getting the TV treatment as a new biographical series gets ready to kick off. But the show is based off Israeli journalist Ben Caspit's book called The Netanyahu Years, which highlights the Prime Minister's political and personal career. The book was published in 2017 and became a bestseller for uncovering the divisive nature of Netanyahu's policies and all the scandals he was involved in. Founders of Avot HaMeiri, the production company behind the series, say it's the biggest true story they could deliver from Israel to the world, adding that nobody has influenced the country more in the past 20 years than Netanyahu, and saying that Netanyahu's populist rhetoric was prevalent long before President Trump adopted those techniques. The series is supposed to get psychological and address how personal problems behind the scenes came to the forefront of Bibi's political career. Avot HaMeiri is known best for producing the hit series Shtisel.
Moving on, social media giant Twitter is now suspending all Hamas-related accounts. And here to explain to us what that means and why this is happening is ILTV's Shanna Fold. Shanna, thank you so much for coming. Which accounts are being suspended and why?
So a handful of accounts that are considered to be related to Hezbollah or Hamas have been taken down. Now, U.S. representatives gave a deadline to Twitter of November 1st. In which they had to close down accounts that they believed were affiliated or operated by Hezbollah and Hamas, which are, according to the United States, considered terrorist organizations.
Sure. Okay. So, and then, but this is not like the first time this has happened. The United States has targeted these sites before.
Yes, they have targeted these sites before. Now, I think the most interesting site that is being targeted currently is Al-Manar TV, which is an Arabic TV station. They do news and they have a Twitter account, as do most TV stations have Twitter accounts. Now, they said that their objectivity and accuracy in conveying the truth is at the forefront of what they do, and U.S. representatives say that they don't deserve to have a Twitter account, being that they're involved with Hezbollah. Now, their response to that is that Hezbollah plays a big role in Lebanese life, and that it just makes sense for them to be involved with Hezbollah if they're going to be covering the territory.
Just because Hezbollah is so involved with everything.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, wow, like how is this going to affect like social media? I mean, what are they going to do next? Like, how does this work?
Well, I think that the issue, so the U.S., the Twitter's U.S. representative responded to it. He said that if these accounts would like to continue on, they need to be peaceful and they need to be sort of correcting anything that they might have done that may have been anti-peace or sort of inciting in that regard.
So they're saying that even if they are maybe affiliated with some of these groups, they may not be banned in the future as long as they don't incite to violence?
Yeah, because in the past, like you brought up before, in 2016 and 2014, Hamas and Hezbollah had their accounts removed.
Sure.
Especially in 2014 during the Gaza war, any account that was linked with Hezbollah was taken down. And so the important part there is that they were able to get their accounts back because they just made new ones. And what they are saying is that what the Twitter director is saying is that the materials cannot be incitement for violence.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shanna. And yeah, we hope that Twitter takes this seriously in the future as well.
Thank you.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time to learn about some more new and amazing places to visit here in the Holy Land. This is the side of Israel, of course, that most people have not seen before, and it's brought to you by Visit to Israel, one of the world's leading Instagram pages about how to travel in Israel. Ella, thank you so much for coming back today. All right, tell us a little bit about our first location here.
So our first location is located in the Western Galilee in North Israel, next to the Carmel. It's a place called Adamit Park.
Okay.
It's a park that is overlooking the Haifa Bay and the Carmel area, so it has a breathtaking view.
Yeah.
It's a great place to visit throughout the year. It has a great picnic area and also archaeological sites, like the Ar Cave, which is a very unique nature site, pretty known, I would say, in Israel. Yeah. It's a very recommended place to come throughout the year. You can come with your family, couples. You can come at sunset. It's a really great place to visit.
Now, you said it was kind of well-known, but is that like well-known by the locals, or is it well-known pretty much across the country? Is it a big tourist attraction?
No, it's not a big tourist attraction. It's pretty local, I would say. And
so people you can go and kind of just blend in and enjoy the sites.
Yes, and it's also if you're into archaeologic sites, then it's the best place.
Oh, cool.
It's one of the most unique places in Israel in that term.
All right, so what about our second place here, which I understand also has like a cool history?
It has a very unique history. It's called the Mar Saba Monastery. It's located halfway between Jerusalem and the Dead Sea. It's a monastery that was built in 483. More than 1,500 years ago.
Wow.
So it's one of the oldest monasteries in the world and still habits monks to this day. There's about 20 monks living there. Another unique fact is that no women are allowed in the monastery.
Not even to visit?
No, no women are allowed to visit.
Ooh. All right, so maybe half of our viewers can visit, I guess.
Yes, but they have a place called the Women Tower in which they can view the monastery. Okay. So this is the only place where women can visit. So this is a tradition they still keep for the past 1,500 years. Yes, it's a beautiful place. It's very unique. It's not very common or known to get there, especially for Israelis. It's a bit more problematic.
Sure.
You need to coordinate with the army if you want to get there, yes.
Wow.
But if you're a tourist, I would recommend coming with an instructor or a travel company. It's not that it's not safe, it's just easier to get there because...
Sure, they kind of maybe take care of all of that organization with the army,
Exactly, but it's worth the view. It's a great place to hike, it's a great place to do a bike tour, not in really heat of the summer.
But on a nice day.
On a nice day, yeah.
And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Yeah, go check out the amazing places in Israel. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, attention now, all foodies. Time to keep your forks, knives, and bibs at the ready because it turns out that in Israel, you don't have to travel very far to taste the flavors from the rest of the world. And ILTV's Natasha Kirchuk has the scoop.
You're in Israel and you finally want a taste of authentic Israeli food. But here's the thing, authentic Israeli food is international in of itself. That's because the Israeli kitchen is an immigrant kitchen. Today, we're going to travel the world through food at one of Israel's most trendy foodie destinations, the Carmel Market in Tel Aviv.
This is bocca roast beef.
This is the Italian pita.
It's not just Italian, it's Roman Jewish. We have special food and even a special language. Buon appetito.
I don't even know where to start. Where do I start?
Right here.
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
להכין לך משהו?
No, I know I'm supposed to share this with you, but no.
There is no really Italian food with no homemade limoncello.
I feel like they're screaming on purpose. Okay, ready? Bienvenidos a Viva México!
Tequila.
Bueno, Pepe, ¿qué nos vas a preparar?
Unos exquisitos tacos de pollo, los taquitos preparados. Mi esposa y yo decidimos abrir un restaurante mexicano porque es mantener la identidad. Tengo salsa verde, salsa roja.
I'm trying to keep up with him.
Yo agarro mi taco, tú agarras tu taco. Se toma por la parte de arriba.
Okay.
Por la parte de arriba. La otra arriba, eso. El dedo es muy importante, como si fuera champán. Hacemos la cadera hacia atrás para no escurrir. Giramos la cabeza y lo introducimos y deleitamos el taco así. ¡Delicioso, amigos!
I gave him the bite with all the spice. Now we're in Africa, in Libya, at Shuli. All the recipes that he's serving here, he grew up eating in his grandmother's house. Yoav, the man behind the magic, he refuses to be interviewed on camera, but that's okay because we have Eldar, this hot, sexy young man.
This is couscous handmade becha, it's called. It's like meat mafroum. It's like potato sandwich with meat inside. Matbucha, kirshi. And this one is spicy, so good luck with it.
Wow. It seems really inauthentic that I keep on saying wow every time I eat something here. Wow. But everything is very, very good. Very good. Woo! אני אגיד את זה משהו עליך, בסדר? Okay? Ready? All right. This is the type of place that you come if you really want homemade, authentic food and to make some new friends. All right? Okay, 3, 2, 1. We are in Thailand. Are you filming me? Okay, 3, 2. Wow, all that alcohol. One thing that I just want to say to everybody here is that beware, if you eat in Israel, you are going to have shots forced down your throat. Welcome to Thailand.
I hear a lot of stories that people go to Thailand and they are like to eat Thai food. So that's why I have an idea to open here.
I don't think I can handle any more spice today.
Yeah, you see, spicy now. They like spicy, they like the taste of the food.
I've eaten so much today in the shuk that I don't think I can go on. So we're just gonna watch other people eat here. Was it hard for you to move to Israel in the beginning, or do you like Israel?
I love it. Love here. I feel like I'm in home. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Natasha always gets the fun articles where she gets to go eat things. It looks amazing. But on the topic of food, for this next story, we hope that you have 2 pieces of bread nearby because today, November 3rd, Israelis mark International Sandwich Day. And that's good for us because here in Israel, sandwiches are huge. Whether in a pita, bun, or challah roll, you cannot deny that sandwiches are the go-to fast food for Israelis. What is up for debate is the sandwich's origin story. Well, after doing a bit of research, we found that the sandwich, as we know it, comes from the 4th Earl of Sandwich, England, John Montagu. And as the story allegedly goes, during the 1760s, the Earl could not be bothered to take a lunch break from gambling. So to eat while simultaneously playing cards, he asked for his salted meat to be put between 2 pieces of bread. The Jews, however, have a different sandwich story. It turns out that Hillel, a great Jewish leader and scholar, is actually known for making the first sandwich during his time in 30 BCE. Hillel used 2 matzot to hold together a small piece of Paschal lamb with bitter herbs, and today Jews all over the world honor this sandwich on Passover by eating a symbolic one made with chopped nuts, apples, wine, and bitter herbs. Finally, though, today isn't just about eating sandwiches, it's also about giving them out. And that's why Nevet, an organization dedicated to feeding hungry school children, is sending over 8,500 fresh rolls to over 151 public schools each and every day. So please consider offering a helping hand, as Nevet urges everyone to donate just 3 shekels, or about 75 cents, so that even one child who leaves home hungry today won't stay that way for long. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast. Tonight should be clear to partly cloudy and with lows around 60 or 16 degrees Celsius. Then tomorrow you can expect mostly sunny skies and a high of about 82 or 28 degrees Celsius in all but Eilat. Eilat peaks at roughly 91 or 33 degrees Celsius tomorrow. All right, that is it for today's news. Today's exchange rate is 3.53 shekels to the American dollar. For more news from ILTV, please like ILTV on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. I'm Aaron Porras. Thank you so much for watching.